time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, this is definitely going to be a show where you're going to hear my opinion, okay? I don't have to tell y'all what's been going on in the last 10 days or 2 months or 6 months or whatever. We know it's been pretty tough. And I'm going to try to put it in some sort of perspective. And like it says here, you're entitled to my opinion. This is my opinion. That's why I'm not running ads, because I don't want people to associate unnecessarily my opinion with those businesses, because they're entitled to their own opinions, of course. And if you want to know what they think, they'll tell you. But the point is that I've been very, very disturbed about what I've been seeing the last few weeks, particularly the death of Charlie Kirk and this business with Jimmy Kimmel and Trump's, I don't know how to put it any other way, the stepping on all over that funeral and his eulogy on last Sunday. Okay? That I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm going to do the best I can. So this is not going to be a particularly long show, so I'll just get right to it. I'm going to start off with Jimmy Kimmel first. Mr. Kimmel, as you all know, made some comments on one of his shows last September 15th. It was a week ago Monday. And a lot of those comments were very, very controversial. And I thought they were not just factually inaccurate, I thought it was mean-spirited, actually. And in result, he was suspended off the air. And we're going to, a lot of First Amendment questions, whatever else. But before I really get into that, I want to show the clip from last night's news. Y'all are well aware that tonight Mr. Kimmel will be back on the air on most ABC stations, but not all of them. The two major affiliate groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, which originally said they're not going to air the shows, which led to ABC's suspension, said they're not going to air Mr. Kimmel indefinitely. Okay, and so we'll talk about free speech implications and what is free speech and what is not free speech and things of that nature, what is protected under the First Amendment and what is not. So anyway, Josh, you would run that first clip, please.
With Tom Yamas.
And good evening. It's been nearly a week since Jimmy Kimmel's show was suspended, but starting tomorrow, the late-night comedian will be on the air once again. Disney announcing Kimmel's return after what it calls thoughtful conversations, saying it pulled the show last week because of comments that were ill-timed and thus insensitive. ABC and Disney faced pressure from the FCC and major station groups after Kimmel made the comments in the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing. But the suspension was met with concerns about freedom of speech. In Hollywood, you see the list here, hundreds, including Meryl Streep and Jennifer Aniston, signed an open letter condemning the suspension. Kimmel himself has been silent so far, but what will he have to say when he comes back? Liz Kreutz starts us off tonight.
Tonight, after nearly a week of silence, Disney announcing Jimmy Kimmel will be back on the air Tuesday night. The company says the reversal comes after days of thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, adding Kimmel's show was suspended last week to avoid further inflaming a tense situation, calling his comments in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination ill-timed and thus insensitive.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Disney and ABC pulled Kimmel off the air after pressure from the FCC chairman and two major television station ownership groups who said they'd stop airing the show following conservative outrage over Kimmel's comments. Sinclair, which owns dozens of ABC stations nationwide, previously said it would not air Jimmy Kimmel Live again unless the comedian apologized to the Kirk family and made a donation to them and Turning Point USA. Tonight, Sinclair saying they do not plan to run tomorrow's show, writing, "Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return."
Free speech is under attack!
The decision to put Kimmel back on the air comes as Disney faces mounting backlash, including protests and calls to boycott the company.
I'm canceling my Disney Plus.
Today, ABC's The View finally addressing the controversy.
The government cannot apply pressure to force someone to be silenced.
2 days after Kimmel was pulled off the air, police say 64-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana fired shots into an ABC station in Sacramento. Tonight, the district attorney telling NBC News investigators found anti-Trump notes in his home and that they believe Kimmel's suspension may have been a factor.
We're still looking and investigating the case, but he chose a very particular target. And with the notes that he left behind, I think there's circumstantial evidence there to show that this was politically motivated crime by this individual.
Hernandez Santana, a retired state lobbyist, was first arrested by local police on Friday, but released on bail. The FBI then stepped in and rearrested him. His attorney says he plans to plead not guilty to the number of state and federal charges he now faces.
Liz joins us now live. Liz, the big question, do we know if Kimmel is going to apologize?
Tom, we don't know the answer to that, but we do know that Jimmy Kimmel does plan to address his suspension tomorrow night. The other big question is whether other local station groups like Nexstar will follow Sinclair's suit and not air the show. We have reached out to Nexstar for comment. So far, have not heard back. Tom.
All right, Liz Kreutz with that new reporting tonight.
Okay.
Liz, we thank you.
Okay, a little technical issue. Are we on the air, right?
I'm in the YouTube stream right now, and we're seeing it going.
Okay, okay. Let's make sure, because I can't get the link on the Facebook. And
unable to connect to Facebook. Okay. I could.
Can we start over again?